Okay, good morning everyone. So let me create a new project. So it's Java BDD Selenium part 1. So in this, let me create one file. Okay, so this will be on this is session part 1. So we'll be having Java with Selenium and with BDD. BDD is nothing but behavior driven development. So this session will be oral session, so which will cover the key components. First we will be covering key components, then setup, then the next thing will be directory structure, then we'll be having example implementation, then at last we'll be having before step then after this we'll be having step definition for this step definition and along with the test runner. Then at last we'll be having execution. So these are the things which are going to be covered in this session. So first thing, so we'll be going with key components. So what are the key components? First one, Selenium, and we'll be having Cucumber as the framework, which supports the Selenium, which automates the browser. Let me come one by one. Selenium, Cucumber, and we'll be having Gherkin, and at last JUnit or TestNG. These are the key components which are going to be covered. So what is Selenium? Here Selenium, which is used to automates the browser interaction. So it will be having interaction with the browser to automate any application for automating test cases, or which will be interacting with the browser. So why do we use Selenium? Selenium is a testing tool which is going to used for automating your manual test cases, and which is used to interact with the browser. So that's the Selenium. So it's just a brief session. So we'll be completing the entire course in 10 parts, which means hardly 10 hours. So we are not going to going much detail in each and every component. So we'll be having a brief intro, then by the session prolongs we'll dig more. Next, Cucumber. So what is Cucumber? So Cucumber supports the BDD by allowing tests to be written in Gherkin format. what is Gherkin format? Gherkin format is nothing but a human readable format. So Gherkin is nothing but a syntax which is used for writing the test scenarios. A test scenario will be having uh, syntaxes with the standard keywords given, when, then. These are the keywords. So what is Cucumber? Cucumber supports the BDD framework, behavior driven development, which allows you to test, to test and write the Gherkin format. So what is Gherkin format? Gherkin format is a syntax, so which is used for writing the scenarios. So what is scenario here? Yeah, a test scenario. You need an example. Yes. Y- yes, but having a future file must have, because the future file cannot understand the syntax other than Gherkin format. So a future file will be having scenario. Yes, scenarios will be identified, or the framework, BDD framework, cannot understand the lines if you do not having pre keywords like given, when, then, the Gherkin format. If you are not mentioning it, it cannot understand the format you are mentioning in the scenario. So it is mandatory. So the example, for an example, it should start with a capital keyword always. Given, when, then, and even, and as well. So these are the 4 standard syntax or keywords which are used in Gherkin format or in a scenario of a feature file. So what is TestNG? So what is TestNG or JUnit? These are used to execute the test cases. So let's say you have a feature file, and in a feature file you have different scenarios, n number of scenarios, or if you have n number of feature files, if you want to execute them in a BDD framework, either you need JUnit or TestNG. These are the files which will supports, I don't say files, it is a it is a reporting tool as well as the runner as well. Okay. Okay. So it's just a clean and clear runner. So obviously when you have a runner, obviously it will generate a test report for your feature files. So mainly it is used to execute the test cases. So these are the key components. Now setup. So when we move forward in upcoming sessions, will be digging more in these key components. So you will have the better understanding what is Selenium testing tool, what is Cucumber, what is Gherkin format, what is JUnit, and all. So here in the setup, mainly we'll be using Maven. So we'll be using Maven for setup. What is Maven here? So it will have, it is a POM file. So generally it will have a XML as the extension of that file. It is a POM file. See, let me create over here in my project. Create a pom.xml. See, you see here, you got the extension. So what does this POM file consist? So what is POM? Page object model. So whatever the test cases you have, whatever the syntaxes, whatever the feature files, in that feature file you have plenty scenarios, and for those you will be having corresponding step definitions for your feature file to and for those feature files and step definitions you will be having associated methods, and for those all of three components will be having a dependency to make sure your BDD Cucumber framework should have the capability to understand the structure and should be have the capability to run your test cases, which means I mean to say feature files. To make that thing done, we need POM file. POM is nothing but page object model. So we'll be having all the objects. Literally, if you ask me, these are objects for your components. So that will be included in your dependency file, that is POM XML file. So here we will be having dependencies. What is a POM XML file consisting? It is a dependency file. Right side or left side? Where? Okay, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, okay. Okay, you're talking about this. Uh-huh. Mm-mm. Okay, let me share my. How is it now? Uh, yeah, yeah, it's full page only, right? Uh-huh. Oh, if that is the case. Yeah. No, how is it now? Still, huh? Okay. Okay. This is fine now. Just view. Fine now. Mm. So however, you are not able to see my screen. Oh, this is the case. Fine. I got this. I got this. One second. So here in settings, just view, toggle title, sidebar, dynamic. Okay, not this one. Title, spotlight, sidebar. Okay. Now how is it? Still. So okay, we'll use some other app next time. Yeah. Otherwise, why it is? I wanted to have only. It is It is in recording, so it's okay. Uh, okay. View only. It's literally view. Okay, when I'm sharing, it is causing the issue. Okay. Okay. Present my screen. Allow share window. So now only this window, right? Correct. Okay, we'll see. So it's your issue, Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, fine. No worries. Okay. In dependency, okay, where are we? We are in POM file. Okay. So the syntax is different for POM file. I'll show you some basic syntaxes, how these things looks like. So we'll be having dependencies. If you just we'll be having tags for the form file. So if you type on dependency, see dependencies, it's a plural word. Dependencies, close it, and as you can see, you got the opening tag and ending tag. It will be having very similar to HTML. So opening tag and ending tag, and under this you can have multiple dependencies. So for example, as I have mentioned, we will be having, it's a plural keyword. Let's say I have two dependencies in it, so I'll go with dependency. That's it. So this is my first dependency. So under this I'll be having one more dependency. So as you can see here, I have two dependencies over here, correct? So under my dependencies, parent dependencies, I have two dependencies over here. This is how you can add your n number of dependencies under your under your dependencies section. So for example, I'll give you one simple example for the first one. So here I'll be having group ID example. Here I'll be having group ID. Then that group ID, my group ID is, for example, org dot something. For example, Selenium dot Selenium. It's just an example. So Selenium, it's my group IDs dependency. Let's say I have one more a dependency in my first dependency, that is maybe the version of that Selenium. So I'll be having version. So version, what is the version? So this Selenium version is maybe 4.0. So that I have mentioned. So if you see here, this whole thing is just I'm defining my Selenium dependency. So that will be having it's not mandatory to have group ID or version. It's depend upon your project. So whatever, for example, if you are going with Playwright, so it will be having some other URL and along with the version, and you will be having other artifact ID. So like this you can define your dependencies under POM file. Okay. So in upcoming sessions we'll be having more. So if you yes, correct, if you do not have this POM file in your BDD framework, your framework, I mean, is structureless, I mean, useless. It does not have any meaning. You cannot run those. Okay, in the similar way I'll be having under my second dependency cucumber, for example, org dot. It's not to have it's not mandatory to have org. It depends. So I'll be going with cucumber. This is my second dependency. So under this, okay, it's direct dependency. Okay, maybe I'll go with the group ID. So my group ID is cucumber. So for this I'll be having version. So my version is maybe 5.0. So like this you have to you have the privilege to add your dependencies under POM file. Okay, next thing, this is done, setup is done. Now directory structure. So under directory structure we'll be having some structure in your project. As you can see here, it has some structure. In a similar way, for the future files and for the step definitions, for the locators, for the methods, you will be having separate directories or the folders to store your feature files, step definitions, methods, method handlers, locators, for everything. Okay, you will be having separate directories. So that is called directory structure. For example, src slash source test slash java. This is my one directory. Under this directory, I'll create one src folder here. Under this, I'll be having test folder. Under this, I'll having one more subdirectory called java. Okay, in this, let's have a most typical directory structure as step definitions, runners, features. So under this you will be having step definitions, so we'll be having runners and obviously feature files. So this is how a folder structure or a directory structure looks like in your project. Yeah. Yes. That's it. Yes, there will be. It is a default structure. It's a basic structure which was given by the PyCharm, but it is not going to be used for us. So we'll be having our customized structure here. It's just an explanation. So next we will be having a so once we complete this, theoretically we'll be going implementation these things in our project. Okay, next thing will be example section. So example section is nothing but a creating a feature file under your features directory. Third is next thing is example section, example implementation. Yes. Yes. So under implementation, we'll be creating a dot feature file. So always remember the feature files extension is dot feature. So and it will be under features directory. So we will like this. The similar way we have step definitions, runners, features, right? So we have a features directory. Under this features directory we'll be having our feature files, and these feature files consist of our scenarios, or you can say test cases in it. Okay, so I'll give you one simple example. First, let me create a one features directory. So before going over there, let me create a few basic things. So let me create here one directory here. I'll create one directory called src as I have mentioned. Okay, so this is my actual directory. Under this, I'm gonna have one more subdirectory as I mentioned here. So I'll be having one subdirectory called test. So under test, I'll be having one directory called Java. You getting the structure? So this is my customized framework. So under this, we'll be having Java and then resources. Under test, we'll be having resources as well. Standard. You can standard one if you are using BDD with Java and Selenium. So under src, I'll be having test, because this is the most familiar and much understandable by POM file. So this POM file will have better understanding when you go with standard structure. So under resources, I'll be having my futures directory. So this is my features directory. In this features directory, I'll be having my actual feature file. So let me create one feature file. Example. I'll go with the name as the feature file name as example.future. So it says to install the Gherkin plugin, because as I have already told you, we'll be starting this project and this course from scratch, right? So that's the reason you're not going to have any differentiation between the text file and the feature file. So for this, you need to install one Gherkin plugin. So you need to click on the install Gherkin plugin. So okay, this is my Gherkin plugin. So if you see here, the icon has changed. Can you notice? Before it was very plain, which is similar to txt file. Now the icon has changed because correct Gherkin plugin. So here, as I have already mentioned, the feature file will always have the extension of .future. Okay, now a feature file will always starts with keyword future. So just I have typed feature, that's it. It has given me that plugin. Because of that installation of that Gherkin plugin, it is giving me the suggestions. Okay, the feature will always have a capital letter. It starts with the capital letter and ends with a colon. And here you'll have the name for your feature. It's just a description of your feature file. I'll go with Google search. Google search. That's the description of my feature file. When you hit enter, it is taking the indentation. Like if you are aware of sorry, indentation in Python, you'll have one tab space, 7 spaces, correct? So very similar to that. So here next thing will be having, let's say I need to add some comments. So then I'll go with giving searching. It starts with a hashtag. Okay, searching for something. So this is my comment. If I have one more line, same thing, looking for something. Okay, this is the comment section. This is how the comment section looks like. Okay, then once I am done with this, I need to as I have already mentioned, in a feature file we will be having different scenarios, and in the different scenarios we'll be having Gherkin format, correct? So now scenario. So so we'll have three different things: scenario, scenario outline, and scenario template, and we will discuss these in detail in upcoming sessions. For now, it's just a sample file, so we'll be going with scenario. Okay. So for that scenario, you will be having a description for your scenario. For example, Amazon. I want to search for Amazon tax, something, whatever you want. You can give your description here for your scenario. So here the actual, when you hit the enter, here the actual thing comes into the picture. That is Gherkin format. Given what? When I open the browser, anything you want, steps, these are just steps. When I open the browser, or be generic, open the browser. After opening the browser, I'll be going with when navigating to some Google web page. Then so if I try to get the Gherkin keywords, it should start with a capital letter. Let's say instead of having a capital letter, if I want to go with a small letter, it won't give you. So no suggestions at all. Yeah. So no, correct. Now search for something. Search for product. So when I'm done this, and I see the search result. So see the search result. So this is my feature file. So what does the feature file will have? So it will have a it will be having the extension called, I mean before that it should be stored in features directory, and features directory should be in resource directory, and that resource directory should be in test directory, and test directory should be in src directory. Src is nothing but source. Okay. And now let's come back. The feature file should have the extension, it should have extension called dot feature, and that feature file should be consisting a feature description, scenario description, and then Gherkin format. Understood? Okay. See, if you see here, when I hover on the Gherkin lines, if you see, do you see any difference between feature description, scenario description, and the Gherkin format? Gherkin lines? Yes, there is. It says undefined step references for opening the browser. Similarly, for navigating to Google web page, searching for product, it says undefined step reference. Correct? That is called step definition. You must have step definition for your Gherkin lines. Understood? So when you define these step definitions for your Gherkin lines, you won't be seeing these undefined warnings. Get it? Fine. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, it will be turned. The warnings will be overcome. It will be bypassed. Okay. So as this is just a first session, so we are not going much deeper. We'll be having a rough overview of our entire Selenium feature file project and the Cucumber test runner and all. Okay. So I'm not covering most of the things because we'll be not most of the things. We'll be covering all the things but not in much detail. In upcoming sessions, the sessions will move further. The when you come like fifth or sixth session of the course, so you'll be having better understanding of what's this feature file, how these feature files runs, how these step definitions are communicate one and each other, and how the test run is going to be executed, and where the reports are going to be generated, and how do we understand the errors, warnings whenever you compile those feature files, and how to set up this POM file, and all everything will be, you will have a clear picture if you complete 5 or 4 sessions of the course. Okay, next, step definition. So we need to write these Java methods to map your Gherkin steps. So these are the Gherkin steps, right? So we'll be having step definitions directory. So we'll be having a directory in our project called step definitions. And where is that step definition is located? So the step definition is located under, we'll be having not the Java, it's not the Java, but not under the test, we'll be having another directory called main. This is the main directory. See, if you collapse your test directory, sorry. So under this main directory, you will be having again Java and resources, again very similar to test. So Java. So under main, you will be having one more directory called resources. So under resources, you will be having your under Java, because these are Java files, right? So here you will be having a directory called step definition, steps def. This is the standard keywords. Get it? So the steps definition will consist all the step definitions for your feature file, for your step definitions. So under this we will be having locators. So we will be having to store your locators, will be having let me create a directory called locators, and for the utilities also as well, and all of those common things which are going to be used throughout your entire project, those will be stored in utilities, sorry, not in our main directory. In our main directory we will be having locators, step definitions, and utilities, everything. So I have now we have created a basic structure, very basic structure. Okay. Yeah. Now, so as I have already mentioned, we will be having a step definition for your Gherkin line. So this is a directory where we store our methods, Java methods, to map the Gherkin steps. So under step definitions. Okay. So let me create a, no, those are common things, right? Those are common things. I mean, you're talking about the step definitions for these Gherkin lines. Yes, yes. And invoking the browser and everything will be as of now we'll be going with a very generic format. Later on in upcoming sessions we'll have a dedicated files and dedicated files and folders for executing those or initialization of the browser or execution of those methods. So we'll make our project in a such a way that if you have 100 feature files, those 100 feature files, you don't have to write initialization of the browser or invoking the browser every time in every feature file, correct? So that's a duplication, correct? Yes. Correct. So rather than calling in every scenario, will have a concentrated or common folder where you can have your common codes over there. So those are called as hooks, cucumber hooks, and those will be denoted as at before, at after. So that those things will be coming in upcoming sessions. We'll cover those as well. So let's stick to the point. Come back here to the step definitions, where we write the Java methods to map our Gherkin steps under step definitions. So let me create one file that is opening maybe Amazon Google search. Okay, so there is one more thing. When you go with the step definitions, so you'll be having the first letter of it should be a capital letter, as you know this, correct? Because your Java file name should always starts with a capital letter, and the class name should be the same. Google search. I'll go with search. Google search dot Java, because it is a Java file. See, this is a Java file. Now for this we'll be having package. So it is not giving you anything because you do not have any kind of Java extensions over here. Let me go with any adding some extension over here. Java does not have any plugin. Okay, marketplace, go to marketplace, Java. JavaScript. Uh, any one plugin which is already good for Java. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Because it is showing only that screen. That is the issue. Okay. Let me change it. Okay. Now it is visible, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So Cucumber. Let me go with the Cucumber with for Java. Cucumber for Java. It is giving you Cucumber. Hyper Robot Framework. Lambok. Okay. Why it's not giving me the bundle? It's Java. Yes, PyCharm is the ID. That is different. That's a dedicated for Selenium. But mm, if you are having any like a common ID, it is very useful. Even you can go with um, uh, Selenium or Appium. Sorry, not Appium. Playwright. You can use any kind of testing tool. Eclipse, you have so many IDEs. You will have IntelliJ, correct? There are so many IDEs. Yeah. Java. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So these are the common ideas in all of the organizations. Most probably they will stick with PyCharm, Eclipse, VS Code, IntelliJ. Not no. Mm, okay, cool. Yeah. Now it says settings, version, build tools. Okay, fine. Okay. So here, let me have a package for this. So package something testing. Testing dot package. Okay. Sorry. Fine. So here I'll be having some sample code in it. This is not the actual code. This is just a sample code. Okay. Now let me have here. We're gonna have imports. Import some Selenium. Org dot open OpenQA dot Selenium. That's next. So this is package. This is the package name which I am going to give for my Java file, and this is the import section. Next I'm gonna have some basic class, public class. As I mentioned, the class name should be the file name. Google search. Next. So anything. Let me go with the WebDriver. Any variable. I'm declaring any WebDriver. Okay. Next I'm going to have, so whenever you define your step definitions, it should starts with at given, at when, at then, at end. Okay. So at given what, so it will be in between double quotes. The name should be same. Given when, the Gherkin line should be same. Okay. So then this is your method. What is the method you want to have? Public anything, that is opening the browser, anything. Let's go with browser. This is the method, and under this method I'll be having simple, it's just a dummy system. So this is the method. Okay, so as you can see, it is when you hover on it, it's still saying it is undefined, because the POM file and the step definition and these needs to be glued. In Cucumber we say gluing your step definition to your feature file. This is called gluing. You know, right? What is gluing? Means attaching two things, correct? So though you have followed proper format, but it's unable to navigate to your step definition because the gluing is missing, correct? So for this you need to create a test runner. You need to create a test runner under runners directory. Where is your runners directory? Here, same, here only, in Java only you will be creating one directory called runners. So these runners will have the your actual runner which will glue your feature file and the uh, step definition. So let me save this. Now let me create a runner over here. So I'll give any runner. The name of the file, some test runner. Test runner. Java. It is, sorry, it is always a Java file. So here, so it will have a package name, maybe runners will be the name of my package. And then if you want, you can import some imports. For example, organization dot JUnit, we'll go with JUnit dot runner. Run with. This is the runner. This I have imported. So now I'll go with runner. Run with Cucumber class. Cucumber dot class. Okay. So here, so I need to go with options now. Cucumber options. So what are the options you wanted to have? What needs to be glued here? So I want to glue features. What features? Where are those features? SRC test Java features, correct? Copy SRC here. Correct. Here is the features. So let me, it should be in between double quotes. Okay. So here we have given the feature files path. Next thing is gluing. Glue. These are the standard keywords. Glue. Step definitions. Where is step definitions? Here is the directory. Just the name of the step def, because it has the it know where is the step definition. So for this we will be having just, we are not gonna give entire path. We'll give just step name of the that directory where this our step definition is found. I mean placed. Now plugin. So this will be, so pretty is the keyword. It's a standard keyword to bind it, and the report. Here we'll be having our reports. What format? HTML format. sorry, in double quotes, HTML format, and target. Where do you want to store them? Target. So I need to have anything, cucumber hyphen reports, any name, whatever you want, you can give your customized name. HTML, this is the report where I want to store. You got the thing here till now. Here, this is the feature file location, this is gluing where your step definitions are, so that it will be linked these step definitions to your feature file. Okay, and this is your report section for generating your reports and targeting them into some specific location. You should use the plugin keyword for gluing, glue keyword for features keyword. Okay, next thing, you need to declare your runner, test runner, public class test runner. Sorry, class name should be a capital letter. That's it. As of now, it's just a empty test runner. Okay, this is how you write your test runner. I mean, just a dummy examples which I have given you. You should know. No, my intention is that you have to understand what is gluing, what is plugin, what is feature file, how do you combine them, how do you declare them, where do you declare them, this navigation things. From tomorrow we will be having a working session where we will be starting from scratch. This is a overview how the frameworks look like. Okay, so no, nothing like that. Okay, this is your basic things. Okay, okay, fine. We have done till test runner. Now last thing is execution. So the execution will be running the test runner. Run the test runner class. So you need to run what? Test runner class. This is the class, test runner class. It should have a capital letter. Test runner, yes, it should be a capital letter. Fine. So to run it, you should run the test runner class to execute the tests, and then results will be displayed in the console as the HTML format as you have already configured here, because this is the format here. After colon, whatever you give here, that's the path. Get it? So this is the format, and here you can go with even DHTML as well, XML as well, your wish. Whatever the format, if you want, you can go with JSON format also. It's up to you what format, in what format the report has to be generated once you run your test runner. Once you run with your feature files, the report will be stored in your project at the dedicated location, where the location which you have provided over here, and the format as well. If you are mentioning JSON over here, you need to mention the you need to change the format of the file. Okay, that should be same. HTML in the sense HTML, JSON in the sense JSON. If it is DHTML, you should go with similar terminology. Exactly, feature file, step definition, and the runner, test runner. These are the very basic three things. Okay, and the locators and all will be coming into the picture later. Okay, now this setup provides you a clean and scalable way to interact with the Selenium with BDD using Java. You can expand it by adding more scenarios, and which can be reusable step definitions. You can have the if you, let's say you have the duplicate step definitions, you can have a single step definition and you can use the same step definition for n number of scenarios or n number of feature files using hooks for setup or tear down. So we'll be having cucumber hooks that will be discussed in upcoming sessions. This is very basic thing. You got the things right. What is the thing? I mean, what are the basic things which you need to in tomorrow's session we'll have a practical a session which will be will be discussing more detail how the writing feature file we don't have much. This is it. And regarding POM file we'll have more discussion regarding POM file, and the step definition is also not much over there, very similar. And trust runner is also similar, but we'll be having parameterization. I mean, the parameters will be changed because these are dummy values, right? So we'll be having a working values, so that you're gonna navigate your feature file to step definition, gluing your feature file to step definition. So right now if you see, it is still undefined. So if you modify the test runner, that will automatically detects your step definition from your feature file. Those setup things and POM setup things will be discussed in tomorrow's session. Yeah. Any questions? Okay.